Hi, welcome. Today we're talking about how to make a one-on-one connection with every single student in your yoga class. This is important because we are more disconnected than ever. We are all in our own bubbles. And when you make that one-on-one connection with someone, they feel seen and they feel like they belong. And when they feel like they belong, they want to come back. My name is Fischer. I'm a yoga teacher and yoga teacher mentor based in Richmond, Virginia. And I help yoga teachers get through the growing pains that it takes to become the teacher that you know that you can be. So today, let's talk about how do we make those one-on-one connections. But first, why might you not be making those connections? There's a lot of reasons, and they're all really normal. One of them is that you're really focused on getting the class to the students. It's a lot of work, especially if you're a new teacher, if you have a sequence, if you're trying to get words out, if you're trying to remember. That can be a lot. So cut yourself some slack if you haven't been looking at the individuals as you've been focusing on the entirety of the class. Some other reasons you might not be connecting is that you're thinking about your own stuff. You're up in your head. You're worried about what they think of you, whether they like you or not. And so you're thinking about your stuff and you're not thinking about them. It may be that you have something going on outside of your teaching that has also kind of carried with you. And if you don't take the time to connect with yourself before you teach, even if you're not thinking actively about that, the energy of that can come with you into your teaching. So it's useful to just take a second to drop some of that stuff and reconnect with yourself. Another reason you might not connect individually with your students is it's very intimate. You're really looking at them, really seeing them, and they're seeing you. They're looking to you and seeing you. That can feel intimate, especially if you are a more shy person and you don't like the spotlight. Finally, sometimes it happens that one student or a couple of students draw all of your attention, and other students are almost like a black hole. You don't even know that they're there. That has a lot to do with the energy of those particular students, but I want to encourage you to see everyone, include everyone, even those kind of black hole or pushed back students. It doesn't have to be big, but when you only gravitate towards those few people that are, drawing your attention, the other folks can feel a little left out or wondering what they need to do to get in with you. We don't want to make it a popularity contest or a clique. We've all been in that kind of situation. So that's why we might connect. Remember that you're here to offer to them. It's not about you. It's about offering to them. That's why you're teaching. And so when you do offer one-on-one moments, you are increasing their sense of belonging, their sense of connection, their sense of community. You build community in the class, and it can help you over time feel more comfortable with everyone who is in the room, especially if you might feel a little shy or put off by any of your students. So how do you do it? In a small class, it's relatively easy. If you have 4, 5, 6 students, pretty easy to know that you've gotten to every single one. It's like, oh, I talked to her, I did this with this one, I spoke to him. Okay, great. That's easy. With a bigger class, it can be harder to keep track of who you've made contact with and who you haven't. So what I like to do in my mind is divide the classroom into quadrants, usually based on the room, and then think of each quadrant as its own little bubble, and then make sure that I'm speaking to a person in each of those bubbles, each person in that bubble. And so I'm not having to keep track of all 28 students. I'm just keeping track of these 6 students and then these 6 students. Oh, did I talk to Susie over here? Yes, I did. Did I talk to Angelo over here? Yes, I did. Oh, I haven't talked to Nikita over there. I need to speak with Nikita. So it's like dividing it up can help you take it in smaller doses so that you're reaching each person. You can keep track. And that's really what it's about, keeping track and making sure that over time you're getting to everyone through the class. So that's a very simple way to do it. It can be useful if you do child's pose or downward facing dog and they're holding for a moment, to just scan the class and say, okay, who haven't I gotten to yet? It's a way to keep track. Keeping track is important because then it helps you spread your attention, especially if you have those people that are trying to draw you in. And we've talked about before how to deal with someone who's interrupting. I have a video on that. Okay, so what are we talking about when we're talking about one-on-one connections? It used to be that in yoga, we offered a lot of hands-on in the yoga practice. Teachers would touch their students very often, and we know that can be very problematic if it's done in a harmful way. And so as COVID happened and as folks became more sensitive, a lot of that hands-on touching has dropped out of the way. But it is still a possibility. You could certainly still make physical contact with your student. You know the rules for this, but always asking, always being very clear about what you are doing, where you are touching, and why. We could have a whole other video on that. So that's one way that you might make contact with them. It's not the only way. Another way to make contact with an individual student is verbally. And that can be certainly, hey, Susie, how does it feel if you straighten your leg? Or how's your back feeling in this pose? Reminding them, giving some ideas about what they might want to do with their practice, giving a verbal awareness that, oh, your leg's not quite straight. If you straighten it, you might get a little more power into the pose. It can also be, oh, I see you're really getting it, Jill. That's wonderful. A kind of a verbal encouragement. So again, verbally reaching out to them. And to make sure that you use people's names. So your one point of contact with one student on a particular day could be saying their name as they enter the room. Nikita, I'm so happy to see you. I'm glad you've made it back. And that might be it. If you have a big class or you're just learning this skill, that's a way to do it. I can't tell you how important it has been for me when a teacher has remembered my name. It feels amazing. So you've got physically touching them with permission. You've got using your voice to reach out to that individual person. The other one I want to suggest is make eye contact. Make eye contact consistently, all the time, as much as you can. That eye contact, when you are speaking to just one person, you two have a shared space, and everyone else in the room feels like you are talking to them because you are in such a direct human connection with the one person you're talking to. Now, I could be giving a full explanation and looking at one person in the eye. Step your right foot back into a lunge. Squeeze your legs and hold steady. Push down, reach your arms up to the sky. Reach up, up, up. Lift your heart more, more, more. Something like that. But if I'm looking at one particular person, while I'm saying that, that person feels my Shakti coming, my life force, encouraging them. Now that's kind of you can feel that the energy of that is kind of a yang energy. Might be something completely different. Might be drop down, settle, release what you're carrying. This works in any type of class. The final thing I'm going to offer is you can have students do a demonstration. It doesn't work in every class. It's not necessary in every class. But if you are working on a posture and coming to a point that could be tricky or folks aren't getting it, it's okay to have one student demonstrate. and you talk them through, you explain, and in that moment you might be giving them a little extra cue or information that they need to help experience the pose in a new way. But really making sure that when you are with that student in the demonstration, that you're speaking with them, you're having a conversation back and forth, and when you bring them out in front of the entire class, they feel seen. And sometimes, of course, that can feel quite intimidating. So you want to read your class, read who's going to be available for that, and not choose the person who's going to have a real difficult time emotionally with it. But those are some ideas. Hands-on with permission, verbal and use their name, eye contact. Eye contact is also great because you can do it from far away, and the demonstration. I encourage you to try some of these out, especially if you are one who tends to close your eyes while you teach or to really be in your own zone while you teach. When you do this more and more over time, you build community in your class, and we all want more community right now. We all want more sense of connection. Yoga class is a place where you can have that sense of community and have that sense of belonging, and the teacher, you as the teacher, you set the tone for that. Now, if this feels scary, if it feels hard, set yourself up with some small goals. If you've never done it before, say, today I'm going to do 2 people. Today I'm going to make eye contact with 3 people. Today I'm going to say 5 people's names. Start small, step yourself up. It'll get easier as you go. So I hope this is helpful. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below or shoot me an email anytime. Go out there, teach a great yoga class, and just know that what you're doing right now is really, really important. The world needs yoga. It needs your unique voice. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Take care.